Hello there, viewers, and welcome to this last-minute preview ahead of the Phoenix First 11 versus the Phoenix Second 11 League match this Saturday. Now, why does this particular game deserve a preview? Well, to find out, we better go back to last year and a game that never made its way to the highlights reel. Namely, the last time these two teams met. And after we've reviewed the game and just how ridiculous it was, this fella and I,
hello,
who were both involved in the game,
this is the Phoenix Francesco, Adam Jukes.
We'll chat about it and talk about why we're so excited to see what will happen. And here's where it all started. Rohan Singh drops Alan Doyle whilst he's only on 5 runs off Isaac Rawcliffe's bowling in only the 3rd over of the game. After that, he gave himself carte blanche to send my cretinous rubbish to the boundary, time after time after time again. It's no wonder I get my revenge on these videos, is it? Can't seem to do it on the pitch. Anyway, enjoy these boundaries while you still can, because you won't get to see many more of them. And that's not because Rohan came on to bowl and I took my proper place in the field. It's just that people do seem to get fewer runs when it's arranged that way. Alright, I'm not playing on Saturday, and neither's Francesco, and we're a bit bitter about it, really. And the business begins. 59 runs between Doyle and Raja, as they did very often last season, but Hader cut one in the air off the bowling of Rohan. You might be able to tell from the audio just how windy it was that day. More on the weather to follow. How very British of me. Alan Doyle dropped for the 2nd time and... Sorry to tell, Kian. I just wanted to use your lovely new ident. Ryan came on and decided to drop me back. Don't know why to this day. Maybe it was something cunning because of what happened the next delivery. We got him! Ha ha ha! Funny, Ryan still talks about that to this day. That's all fine, because the first still had Rosie and Tom to come and batter a few. Until you get an inside edge onto your leg stump. Oops. I decided to speed up this next bit, mainly because it's quite sweet seeing Ryan sped up, but also because Matt Morrison came to the crease, and this is what passed for quite a few overs. This was his 2nd game for the Phoenix, and we haven't seen him since. I do hope we haven't scared him off. He's 2 million on our fancy team if you fancy a punt. With 12 overs to go, Rosie decided to get things going. And off he went. Hey there, Bikram. Oh, bye, Bikram. Sorry the footage was so poor. Not much to say about that delivery. It was alright. Better than that one anyway. What's going on? Great stop, Ash. Oh, better throw. Francesco, you haven't faced a delivery yet. And this was all we saw of the wicket of Harrison Doyle, viewer. A precursing shower was the culprit. To this, in fact. When we came back, things didn't get much better for the firsts. Cam holed out fairly quickly. And then Jamie fell swiftly after. A tad over-ambitious, perhaps, but you can't help but notice that Waz was involved in 2 run-outs. So it was a very sorry performance by the firsts. After Alan Doyle and Hader Raja got them off to that fine start, they halted regularly, ending up on 97 all out after 31.3 overs. Great performance by Ryan, 7 overs, 4 wickets for 11. But don't tell him I said that, it'll only go to his head. I thought I'd include this image of Cam, because otherwise you wouldn't see him in the game. He bowled so brilliantly well, but it was absolutely luckless with the wickets. And with such a low total to chase, Ash and Neil weren't going anywhere quickly. Well, Ash never really goes anywhere very quickly. That's why we call him Flash Ash. Genuinely, it's ironic. Is that a 7-ball over? Or do my eyes deceive me? And that's hen's teeth, viewers. Ash just hit a 6. The second rain delay was even greater than the first, leaving the pitch incredibly soggy, and we had to use the Duckworth-Lewis method to recalculate that the twos needed 86 runs off 31 overs. If you don't understand that, no time to explain. Sorry, YouTube it. And Ash finally falls after having made 7 runs off 39 deliveries. You saw 6 of them. Word to the ones, you don't want to drop him this year. He's in much better form. Still gives it a good biff as well. What was it about looking for runouts on this day? Nope, it's a no ball. You can tell tempers are starting to flare, can't you? And he's given him! Now, there was some conjecture about this. Closer look. Well, the bat wasn't down, but it's more about the heel. Rohan doesn't stick around long either. A terrific running catch by Alan Doyle. So, to put it into context, the second 11 still needed 32 runs, but had 10 overs to get it in. Should be easy, right? With the wall still there, certainly. Haven't seen a boundary for a while, have we? Ooh, spoiled. There's a second. You may look at this and think, why on earth is Henners showing me a single? We don't usually watch those kind of things. Well, it's a build-up, you see. Spoiler alert, Neil's about to get out. Run out, in fact, by Isaac. Sorry if you hate that kind of thing. There's a single in all its glory. Silly call, really, isn't it? There's a fielder there. Wow, Harrison properly flattened those. But what on earth? The single's gone. And trust me, it doesn't come back when I call over right about now. Scorer's name, please. This fella. That was Neil's single, you rotter. Anyway, we still have Yogi to give it a good batter. All should still be well. Ah, Francesco comes on to bowl. Ooh. Gets Isaac fairly sharpish. And Jamie Pompey. Now a twos player. Yogi's still giving it a good clout. And with Ryan at the other end, surely they both can see us home to victory. Oh, that was close. But why run two? There was never a second there. And it's Yogi. We know how fast Yogi can run. Close call for Cam Ryan, the single stealer. And now Ryan's trying to run out Cam as well. And he's done it. But hang on. What's the issue? Well, we'll tell you what the issue was. The first are unhappy because they don't think they crossed. Well, did they? Not really. I'm not even sure Cam left his crease. Poor kid. Still, Ryan's now got me to run out. Or himself. Please tell me, what's it all for? Ah, yes, that's the one he tried to get me on. That's all right. Hit it to Cam Khan. He never catches them. No, wait. That's right. He always catches me. All right. We crossed. Okay. And now coming up is a moment that has passed into Phoenix folklore. Kian Balgabind is taking on Adam Jukes. And Tom Fry takes a marvellous catch, followed by... Good call, Downhall Galley. Truly the celebration of the season. 9 down. Do you all know what that meant? It means it's time for Chairman Rob. 3 balls off Adam Jukes to get 2 runs. There's one. No dice. And no luck with the second for either party. Final delivery. 2 runs needed. He's got it! They need to run the second. Ryan comes back. Can Rob make it? The ball's come to his end. Is that out? No, it's not. The 2s win. Neil Jukes couldn't give it out. Let's see that again. And... bats in the air. Never mind. It's easy to see that. Now try it in real time. I don't blame Neil Jukes on that one whatsoever. But then again, I was playing on the 2s. Adam was on the 1s, weren't you, Adam? But if you think about it anyway, that's why I brought up the subject of the 1 run missing. Because, actually, the 2s didn't need the 2 runs at the end. They only needed 1, so they won it anyway. Still, doesn't make Cam feel any better, poor thing. I hope nobody leaves him there this year, when the 2s do it all over again. I jest, of course. Or do I? Regardless, viewer, those of you who don't watch much village cricket may think this is a shit show. Those of you who do watch village cricket will understand exactly now what is at stake for the first 11. They're past the humiliation that they threw it all away. It's more than just the yearn for promotion. It's revenge. And who better to talk about that and preview it than 2 of us who played in that game but unfortunately won't make round 3. Me and the still frustrated Adam Jukes.
So, going back to that game last year, what are your memories of it? No, I know that there was an... Yes, reviewing the footage, I forgot. Oh, yeah. I ran out Adam. But in fairness, I ran you out. But no, well, it was between me and Ash, because Waz didn't run.
I'm still blaming Waz for that. He's gone, he's snaked. I'm blaming Waz.
I think it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I gave him a really rubbish knuckleball that came off as a beamer, and he, I just think, was completely stunned. And then you were there calling. I think it was rabbit in a headlights time, but Ash just gave the ball straight to me and knocked the bails off. I felt for you. No, I didn't feel for you, actually, because we wanted to win.
Do you know who I won't feel for on Saturday if he gets out? And that's Ryan. Ryan has been chatting so much. It's ridiculous. On the chat, he's the shortest man, but he's got the biggest mouth going. And we've got Dan in the team. And that's saying something if Ryan's chatting more than Dan. We were at the Christmas do. He was going to me, going, we're going to get you in the ones game. I'm like, Ryan, it's December, mate. I really don't care at the minute. He just keeps going. He's relentless. But if he gets out for a dunk, I will cry.
He and Dan have been saying to each other, we're going to get so badly tonked, aren't we? Okay. We're chatting so much that it's just I think there's a different attitude this year. It was, I think, because the first game last year, Richard and Ash had that amazing innings and brought the game closer than it should have been. Then there was a lot of pressure on the second game. This time, I don't know. It's kind of like the meme machine, isn't it? It's the guards versus the meme machine. It's you have this fantastic setup of some really, really great players who are well tuned. They've got the skills, but then you have that ragtag bunch of players.
Whoever could you mean by that?
Yeah. Well, I include myself in that. I mean, here we are. You're effectively ones. I'm effectively twos. Neither of us are playing.
We're both sides of the coin there. So we both play both teams. So I think it's a good. Yeah, it's a good power because you play one, so I play two. So
I play ones when when there's a filler that's needed. There's right. Yeah. There is a stopgap. We need a fielder. Let's get Henry in.
That's what it was for me for the twos last year. I didn't play any easy games. I just played all the hard ones. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game. But I think the way you look at it, it's the ones who got the pick of the whole club. But still, the game's tighter than ever. You should think and feel that it's going to be a cakewalk. But the added pressure of it, it's something else. Because you just don't want to be the guy that turns up at training and you got a duck or you got hit for 2 by Rob Fryer on the last ball of the game. I
think I wrote on the group chat, this'll be a game that will never be forgotten, no matter if the first beat the seconds from every game for now into the future. This game will not be forgotten for a last 4 wins.
This is a big one. It's 2 good sides. 2 really good sides.
Really good sides.
Yeah, like the first team, we'll get it up here. The first team, I mean, you've got the batting. I mean, I think Smudge is going keeper. Then you've got the batting of Alan, who's always going to get runs. And then you've got my dad, who got 120 odd last week. And then you've got Bikram, who's really good at batting as well.
He's in form. He got a golden duck last year, but he is in form.
He's really good. He's a really good batter. He's come along a lot since last year. But yeah, and then you've still got the bowling. You've got Isaac, you've got BJ, you've got Dom back, you've got Harrison, and you've got Cam as well. So...
And the funny thing is, a load of those guys will probably only get like 4 overs, and it's like, thank you very much.
And they haven't even started cooking up yet.
No, but and because Cam's now come back, it means Luke Hogarth, who a strong bowler himself, is now leading out the twos as well.
Yeah, I mean the first game is also the twos game because they get Cam back, but then they also lose Luke, who's quality as well. Absolutely. If you do it both. I mean, if you need someone to come in for 5 overs and just have a little whack around and get a quick 20, 30, he's your man, easily. Or if you need quick runs.
Do you know who I sort of think is the... I wouldn't say the person who's going to turn the game, but somebody who's going to be really, really interesting to see how he plays and what influence he can have on the game. I think it's going to be Rohan. Because none of us have heard from him over the winter. He hasn't been at any nets.
He's my fantasy as well, so Rohan, please don't let down. He's tricky because when Rohan bowls, you're looking at him and he's coming from the other side of the umpire, and then he runs round the umpire, so you don't see him for like 5 seconds, and then suddenly he's over the wicket darting it in on his left arm, and you just don't expect it. So he's a really good bowler as well.
And he can bat.
Yeah,
He's been in India. No idea how much he's played. This is his first game back. Oh, what a game to have as your first game back.
I mean, everyone else has got games under their belt, and what I will say for the twos is they've got a few people who haven't played. Like they've got Bertie coming back, they've got Rowan, Nimesh has had a few games, hasn't he?
Nimesh has had a few games, and he's scoring well as well. His issue is that he loves to throw the bat at things. He's he's impatient. He'll be like 1 or 2. Right, I've hit the ball now. That means I can hit
I'm
out.
Bored now.
So there's no hanging around. But I know that Yogi's looking to have some quick bowlers to play it. He likes the ball coming onto the bat. So there are a lot of quick bowlers in the ones. There are a lot of quick bowlers in the ones. It could well be that having that that quickness, that speed of the ball coming in, if you flash the bat at it, it can go. So there's definitely pros to having so many quick bowlers, but also that their accuracy is tantamount.
It's going to be vital because Yogi, he doesn't take any prisoners. He picks out the bad ball. No prisoners whatsoever. It's got pace coming onto it and it's wide or it's gone down leg. That's going if it's Yogi. Any filth Yogi will polish up. He's a really good bat. He does. He's got a really good eye.
Any filth.
Perfect, but he's got a quality eye, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
I mean,
he really
we
does.
were there on the Lurgashall game when he got like the fastest 50 in like 29 balls. And that way, he was sending them all over the place. He was going in the trees. He was going into the village shop. I think he hit the car. Then he went down there.
Yeah, he teed off.
I don't know about that. Me and Baz couldn't hit it off the square. I was making Baz run twos, and after the second one, he was like, "None of that, lads. It's 1 or 4 at this rate, Adam. I'm not doing that."
We had 2 rain delays, with which something happened to Frog Box because it started jumping. But and so in theory, yes, all the blame goes on your dad for making that call that Rob was in when maybe he wasn't. But it was, again, so close to call.
It was.
I think
It was tight.
I think it's one of the it's ambivalent as to who really won that game, but in the book it's the twos. So, but I think because of that, there's so much riding on this one now. I think there's a lot more pressure on the ones, because the ones have to win, because the ones need to get promoted. You guys are top of the league, or twos are top of the league, and the ones really need to get promoted desperately. I mean, everything's got to be done to get the ones promoted this year, and they need to win every game. So this one, it's massive, because the twos are going to be up there as well. The twos are going to be challenging, and if you can get both teams promoted, potentially that'd be amazing. Yeah.
But the ones need to be there.
It would be lovely to get both teams promoted. I think there is a debate as to whether the league will let both teams be promoted. There's some guys in the club say yes, they will, because actually both teams are better than Division 7. So in theory, they should let both teams be promoted. But then there's also right, so the ones are being promoted. We don't want two teams to play in the same division. But with the rate the club is growing, we could have 3 teams next year. So
that's what
you'll
I'm saying.
still
I
have
think it's got to be the ones that have to go up. If there's a third team coming,
you can't have 3
Phoenix teams.
That would just be awful.
No, it was bad enough going to Frimley 3 times or 4 times a season last year. We had 2 Frimley teams and 2 Frimley Phoenix teams. Yeah.
Who are you expecting big games from?
I think it's going to be the usual for the ones. I think Doyley will step up, like he always does. I think that'll be the key to the game. Whoever gets Alan out, because it might sound ludicrous, but as soon as Alan gets out, or when you're on the side, you're like, oh shit, right, we need to step up now. Because, and the twos will know that as soon as they get Alan out, it's like, right, we have a chance now, because he's our best bat. But then we still have loads of good batting. Like Smudge is good. My dad, he opens, but he'll still be in, and he's a quality batter when he turns it on. But then the twos have got some really good bowlers, like Bertie coming back. Bertie's so good, so good. He's really a tricky bowler.
Very hard to get away. But same with Dan. Dan, if he's on point, you want to tonk him, but then if you miss him, it'll just go straight through you and hit the stumps. Yeah, that's. I mean, I've never actually played against him in a game, but that's what I have in the nets the whole time. Either I connect and it goes flying, or it just goes straight through me.
I mean, he's tricky because Dan runs in like he's going to absolutely steam it in 90 miles an hour, and then he's a little floater. And he does this little jump, and it's a little floater that comes down, and you go, hang on a minute, this should be it. And then try tonk it. Oh, whoops. But Dan's a good bowler when he's not chucking balls at people.
I don't know who you mean. Anything else to talk about with regards to Saturday at all?
It's a preview. Right, I have got one thing. It's about my dad. I want to shout out to my dad as well for his 20th wedding anniversary. He is skipping it. He's skipping a holiday on the weekend so he can play for the first versus the second. So you better score some runs, Dad. That's
loyalty. Otherwise, Mum's going to be angry, isn't she?
No, yeah, I think she already is.
I'm sure he'll make it up to her.
Yeah,
somehow.
Sure. It'll be all right. But yeah, looking forward to the game on Saturday. I'll be watching. Sadly, I'm not there, but I'll be watching in support of the ones.
Prediction.
You can never predict these games. I think it is going to be close. I think the ones are legit. I think the batting that the ones have got is a lot better than what it was last year. I mean, the twos have got a really good bowling lineup. They're tricky bowlers. But I think the ones will just have too much batting for them, to be fair. I think it'll be a close game, though, because you can never write off the twos, and it is a derby game. So it'll be really interesting. It'll be exciting. Make sure you tune into it, because it'll be one to remember. What about yourself, Henry? What are you going to think? What's your prediction?
Oh, I don't want to vote against the twos. So I think it is a mean machine game. It's going to be highly, highly unlikely. The ball is in the ones camp more than it was last year. But you just, like you say, you just never know. If if a collapse happens like it did last year, because I think it was something like the ones were 50 for one, and it was all out for about 90 odd 100. Something,
I think 96 or something like that.
Something like that. It was, and the same happened against Elstead. You just never know. If that happens, then suddenly the twos are in the game. But again, the ones bowlers are stronger and quicker than they were last year. So I
think the twos, their bowling's probably going to have to come up with they're going to have to put in a really good shift in the field and bowling, and their batting's really got to turn up as well. But they have got some good batters that can do that. But good luck to Ryan, because you've been chatting this much.
He goes off on one here, and it's thoroughly boring and unimportant. But thanks very much to Adam, and we hope we've been able to convince you to tune in live tomorrow to this big extravaganza of a match. I'll be live on commentary, Adam will be watching, we hope you will be too. Bye for now!